I figured today would be a good day for story time, and today I'm going to tell you about my crazy, angry band teachers that I had back in school. Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing good today. Okay, first off, just before I get into this story, if you hear the whir of a fan, that is the ceiling fan up there. I have it on the highest setting because I don't know what the heck is going on. It is hot in here, so that is on so I do not suffocate and pass out. But on to the actual story. So, I was actually in band class during every phase of my school life. So like elementary, middle, and high school, I was in band class during all three of those periods. What I played the alto saxophone. And I remember I had wanted to get into band class, I guess because like I said, when I was younger, I felt like I wasn't really like doing all that much other just kind of like just being in class and that was it. And I guess I wanted something that I feel like I could call my own and something just to make me feel just, just a little bit more special. So that was when I decided, pick up the saxophone because, I don't know, I guess I imagined like the smooth jazz thing, and that's how I got into band class. However, there was one common trend between like almost all of my band teachers. Like, I don't quite remember how many band teachers that I had over the years. Okay, I remember I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4. 4? I think I maybe had like 5. I think I had 5 different band teachers over the years, and out of all 5, only one of them was like really, really good. The second one, there was a second one, he was pretty cool, but there was this one that was just really, really good. The others, oh my gosh, it was crazy. So I'm gonna start back in elementary school. There was this one guy. He was my band teacher, but I believe he was also the chorus teacher. And for whatever reason, like now that I'm like older and I'm looking back on this, like you've probably seen this in jokes and like maybe like television or in movies or just like, just like comedy stories, but it's the joke where you have like this band teacher or this chorus teacher or this music instructor or just something like that, and they just get so heated if you do not play a song right or sing it right or whatever. I remember when I was back in elementary school, it's like kind of mandatory to be in chorus class. And I remember every single time that we would like sing the song, he would just start getting really, really mad that we weren't singing it right. Like, I don't remember how this happened, but I remember there was these really 2 quick instances. I think he had issues with some of the kids. I think a little girl got her finger cut. And I don't know if the girl was being disrespectful prior or whatever, but the teacher was just mad. And I just remember she was like, I cut my finger, it's bleeding. And he was like making like a spectacle out of it. He was like, oh my gosh, is it a whole drop? Like, I was like, what the, like, even as a kid, I was like, what the heck is going on? And then I remember there was this other kid, I don't really remember what was going on. I just heard my band teacher, I think the kid like flipped a finger at him maybe, but I remember he just got so heated at that too. He was just like, did you just flip the finger at me? And I was just like yelling and yelling and yelling. Like you have to keep in mind, like I said, I believe I was, okay. I was in elementary school, and I'm just gonna throw a grade out there. I think I was probably in like 2nd or 3rd grade. So I couldn't have been no more than maybe like 7 or 8. Like I'm assuming. So like the fact that you're getting this heated for like a 7 and an 8-year-old kid, and you're like probably like a 30, 40, maybe even 50-year-old man, that's probably ridiculous. But I remember, since he was still my band teacher, I believe we were preparing for a recital, and we were, getting ready for the recital. I don't remember how he behaved with us during the practice, but we did the recital. And the next day he shows up, and he says that we did an awful job. He was saying how like we weren't playing the notes right, we were off key. He said that there was a guy in the audience, and he said he saw him shake his head. He was just like, okay, first off, like, just because you see somebody shake their head in an audience filled with a whole bunch of people, how much are you expecting from a group of 7 and 8-year-olds in a band class? Like, that's the first thing. The second thing, and this is the most funny thing, I remember my band class, we were actually like, our feelings were a little hurt, and we were going to our other teachers who was there during the performance and asking, you know, how did we do, and they all said that we did fantastic. They all said that the band teacher apparently says that about every single recital every single year. He always apparently tells his current class that they did a terrible job. Like it was so funny because the teacher just shrugged it off. We were like, oh yeah, well our teacher said that we did terrible. They was like, he says that every year about everybody. so that was the first band teacher. The second band teacher that I had, he was pretty cool. I think I also had him in elementary school. I think even maybe no, it was in a different school. No, I think this was during my middle school. Was it the middle school? Okay, I don't know, it doesn't matter, but you know, I still had him when I was really young. This dude was actually cool. Like, he, you know, that's basically the most that I can summarize it. He was a cool dude. He was encouraging, you know, he made sure that, you know, we still, you know, played it right. You didn't yell at us every single time we made a mistake. Like, I have to say, out of the few good teachers that I had who, you know, who taught band, he was a stand-up guy. I liked him. Okay, I remember now. The first band teacher that I said, that was in elementary school. I think that was in 3rd or 4th grade. Then I had a second teacher who, that's the guy who I just said. He was also in elementary school. Then I go into middle school. This is where I had 2 other band teachers in my 7th grade year and my 8th grade year. One of them, I believe, was the absolute worst band teacher I've ever had. The second one was the best. So to just get into the worst one, he was by far the worst band teacher I have ever had, because like it was everything that I just said that a bad band teacher does, but he just like ramped it up to another level. He would shout at the top of his lungs in anger and in rage every single time somebody played any note wrong. Like, it was actually quite clear that this dude had anger issues. I have no idea how a person like that even got this job, but like, it was terrible. It's like everybody was always walking on eggshells. You played a single note wrong, and if he heard your instrument and if he knew it was you, or if it was just your section, like the woodwinds or the percussions or something like that, he would just make us stop the whole song and just spend a few good minutes just yelling at us and grilling us and just talking about how terrible we were. I didn't really have that many personal interactions with him, but I do remember this one time where I believe we were getting ready for a recital, and I had my saxophone in its case, and I showed up on stage with my case, but apparently I wasn't supposed to bring the case up there. I just needed, like I said, nobody's here, we were just getting ready for practice. Apparently I was supposed to leave my case in the classroom and just bring my instrument. So when he saw me with my case, like, I don't think he knew anybody's name, so I don't really think he called my name, but he was just like, what are you doing with your case? Put it away! Come on, man! And I was like, okay. Like, I'm like only like 12 years old. I don't know why he just felt the need to just be so intense. And the messed up part was that during these recitals, when the parents and the teachers and everybody else is there during the recital, he's acting all happy and like nice and whatnot. Like when since he's like the conductor, we're playing our instruments, so he's like, his back is to the audience. So it's like as he's conducting, he's like, okay, I'm gonna like turn around for a sec, but it's like he's conducting the music, and then he's just like, like smiling and whatnot, looking at the parents, making everybody laugh. Son, all of us was like rolling our eyes. We were like, oh my gosh, he's really not doing that. But yeah, all in all, awful teacher. Maybe even an awful person. I don't know. But he was, like I said, you get the point, just the most angriest person I've ever met. But this leads me into the best band teacher that I've had. And this doesn't have anything to do anything, but, you know, just to put it out there, she was actually the only woman teacher, the woman band teacher that I had too. And she was wonderful. Like, she was just another ordinary good teacher. We played our music. If we made a mistake, she'd just tell us how to fix it. You know, she didn't yell, she didn't scream, she didn't make us feel bad. Like, she was an actual nurturing teacher. We would even do things that wasn't completely related to playing our instruments. We would do like handwritten tests that are still related to music, just so, like, you know, like, I felt like that she was actually trying to help us, and that she was actually doing her job well. So thank you, Miss, because you gave me my best band experience. Which leads me into high school. Man, oh man, I'm gonna say I had 1.5 band teachers. The reason that I say 1.5, because I did have that one main band teacher, and there was a second band teacher. I had never really interacted with him, but I remember when I had went to the next grade, that was the grade that I got out of band class. But had I stayed in band class, he would have been my teacher. But to go into the actual teacher that I actually had, like, okay, he wasn't all like yelly and intense and whatnot, but he had a different method of teaching, and in my opinion, it is just as bad as yelling and whatnot. It's that basically, if you made any kind of mistake, he would actually take the time to embarrass you in front of the whole class. I even remember him saying out of his own mouth, I believe he said that when he was learning band and just music and whatnot. I don't know like at what age, but I believe he said that's how his teacher did it. It's like if you made a mistake in your music, or if you just did something wrong, he would, basically we would stop playing, and he would spend a good few minutes, either a good few minutes verbally trying to humiliate you, or he would make you play your piece by yourself. So I guess everybody could hear how bad or wrong it is, so we'll feel bad about ourselves. His line of thinking was that if we got embarrassed or humiliated hard enough, we would be motivated to try to practice to make sure that doesn't happen again. So, in short, he was basically trying to make us play better out of fear. Like I said, just out of fear, humiliation, embarrassment, and that was awful, I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm having like friggin' nightmarish flashbacks, I don't think he ever really did that to me because I was one of the better players, but every now and again it would happen, but again, he would still do it to like everybody. And I don't really have that much to say about that other teacher, like I said, that I would have had, but before, how I gotten out of band class. But I remember I had him for like the first day. It's like first day of school or something like that. So it's the first day of class. And a good chunk of us did not bring our instruments because, it's like the first day. We're expecting, probably just some type of something. So it's like, I don't know, for that entire class, I remember he, like, literally, I believe the class was maybe about like an hour and a half. For that whole hour and a half, he spent the whole time grilling us. Talking about how, oh, it's band class, you should have brought your instruments, what's wrong with y'all, gonna need to shape up, you're gonna have to do this, you're gonna have to do that, this isn't gonna be easy, this is gonna be hard. And I don't know, he was just basically making it sound like that this whole semester with him is just going to be one big, unpleasant, rough, very just difficult class to try to succeed in. And honestly, I don't really know why I've had so many band teachers. Like I got the number mixed up, so I don't quite remember what the total number is. But I don't understand why I had so many band teachers that had some horrible method of teaching their children, whether it's just yelling and screaming and getting angry at them, or trying to deliberately embarrass and humiliate them so they don't make the same mistake. It was specifically with my music classes. Like has that ever happened to you? Like, have you ever had like chorus or just some type of music class, or maybe even like theater class? Because I had like some friends that were in theater, and I think that was the same way for them. But yeah, that is basically the story of just all of my really crazy, angry band teachers, except for those two. Those two were awesome. Like I said, and the woman, she's my favorite. She's my absolute favorite. And thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when my videos are going up. And you can show your support by donating in the links below. And actually, before I forget, I have one last thing to say that I just remembered. One thing that I noticed, and this was mostly during my high school band years, was that the band classes tend to behave almost like a cult. Like, that's a strong word, I know that is, but it's kind of like, at least the teachers did, it's kind of like if you were in the class, they did not want you to leave for any reason. Like, I was able to get out because a part of my program, I needed to have like specific classes, so I had to let band class go, and I did that on purpose. But what it was, it's like, because each person played a specific instrument, they wanted as many people playing the instruments as they could. So if they were to lose a person in their class, they were essentially losing that instrument. So by losing me, they lost another saxophone player, you know? So it's like, for that reason, they did everything they could to stop you from leaving the class. Like, luckily the program that I was in completely overrode that. But it's like, it was crazy, dude. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, but that was it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can share your support by donating in the links below, and be sure to like my Facebook page, because that is where I do all of my stuff. So, thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you in the next one. See ya.